Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel and today I am with Tejas and we are continuing our series of interviews. So today we will be focusing on only questions which are related to framework. So in this current market scenario in 2024, what are the questions even Tejas is taking interviews. So whatever question he is asking for the candidate and so he'll ask those questions to me and I'll be giving the mock interviews and we'll try to cover all the possible latest interview questions related to framework. So guys, again we'll introduce Mr. Tejas, who is our interviewer. So Tejas, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, Amit. Thank you. What
Okay,
about you?
I'm doing good, bro. So we are getting a
Okay.
very nice response from our last two interviews series. Okay, that
Yeah.
was one was a REST API, and the another was like a technical interview questions, overall Selenium
Yes.
WebDriver and automation testing. So
Yeah.
we are getting in comment also. People are asking for more videos like that. So
Yes. Fine.
thank you so much, Tejas, for joining me again in my platform YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Then today we'll focus on the framework concepts. If you want to do like automation script, means framework is very important. Like nowadays, every interviewer will ask the framework questions. So who are watching the video will get an idea like what all questions will be covered in framework development or framework from the scratch. We will be covering those questions in today's video.
Okay, thank you so much, Tejas. We'll begin. We'll start.
Yeah, we can start. Yes, fine.
Sure.
Okay. Means according to you, what do you mean by framework? What do you is framework?
So, a framework is a structured a way to store our test scripts, our reports, our logs. Uh, so, like it gives us more readability, and we can execute our test scripts. So, by creating the reusable components, so it will make the life of a automation test is engineer very easy. So,
Okay.
yeah. So this is a framework, a structured way to store our test scripts, test results, screenshots, logs. So, and we apply all the best practices to,
Yeah, in the
yeah,
clear normal wordings, if you want to say, means framework is like a template. So like for everything will be covered in that. Okay.
yeah.
Like
Tejas, you are not audible, Tejas. Tejas,
hello, it's audible,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah. Now it's audible. I think there is some network issue from here. Okay, we'll continue. Hello.
Hello, Amit, it's audible, right, Amit?
Yeah, it's audible. It's audible now.
Okay, sorry, why some network issue I'm facing. It's okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, then yeah, types of framework in Selenium.
So framework, there are different type of framework. Let's say we have a keyword driven framework. We have a modular framework, and we have data driven framework. We have hybrid framework, and we have BDD Keyword framework. These all are the types of
Uh, which
frameworks.
fra- yeah, which framework you used in your like last organization?
So in my last organization, I was using BDD Cucumber framework.
Okay, whether you developed that framework from the scratch?
Yeah, I was a part of the team who were developing the framework. So I contributed in writing the reusable components. I was also part of the documentation where we were documenting whatever the POC were doing. So uh, I was a part of the team.
No, part of not a team. I mean, whether you developed any framework from the scratch, for example, like from
Yeah,
pom.xml, whether you added.
yeah. I have developed the BDD Cucumber framework.
Can you elaborate more about that BDD Kokumar? What you have done?
Okay, I have a prepared one PPT. If you want, I can share and I can explain with that PPT.
Yes, yes, sure. That will be nice. So for understanding, it will be good.
Okay, so I am sharing the screen. So yeah, so I'll start explaining. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so uh, okay, okay. So generally, BDD framework it consists of three components. That is feature file, step definition, and test runner. Okay. So
Okay.
first of all, our framework is a Maven-based project. Okay. So
Uh,
we'll have the dependencies in the pom.xml file. So we have dependencies Selenium Java, Cucumber Java, Gherkin, JUnit, Cucumber Test NG, Maven compiler plugin, Maven Surefire, Maven Response, and Maven Cucumber reporting plugin. So these all are the plugins we'll have in the pom.xml file. So which download these jar files and from the and we'll have the those in our framework. So again, so when all the jar files are downloaded, so we can do all the functionality. So then I'll go with the components of the framework. So first one is a feature file. So feature file is generally a plain text with the dot feature extension. So in feature file, generally we'll be writing a simple English language. We call it Gherkin language. So in that we have keywords like given, when, then, and, but. Examples. These all are background. These all are keywords will be present in the feature file. And in feature file, we can write the uh, scenarios using these keywords. Like and we have scenario outline which is used for parameterization. Again, there will be a step definition. So a step definition will be once we'll write the feature file, we'll do dry run, and that dry run will create the pseudo code in step definition. So we'll be writing, it will be mapping the test feature file, and we'll be writing for that particular scenario. We'll be writing the Java code in the step definition using the Selenium and Java language. Then we have test runner. So in test runner, I'll just explain. I have a code snippet. So test runner is a class like which will behave as a binding between the feature file and step definition. We will have the run with consist of cucumber dot class, and we have cucumber option. In cucumber option, we'll have feature, which will be where we'll mention the path of the feature file, and we'll glue where we'll be mentioning the step definition. This test runner will not contain other code. We'll have this much code only. Then we are using GitHub as our version control tool. So on the daily basis, whatever the code we are writing, so we are checking out to the our GitHub. So there will be a master branch, and there will be yes, modules branch, step branch, where like for each module, whatever module we are working, we are checking, we'll check out our code into that particular sister branch. Again, we are using Jenkin to trigger our test suite. Like for scheduling the test suite, we have high level test cases. So we'll be running it on daily basis. For that, we are using Jenkin. So Jenkin we are using as a CI/CD tool and we'll be configuring the Jenkins as far as the framework, either in freestyle or through pipelines. So we'll be using Groovy languages where we'll configure the Jenkins with all the pom.xml path. We'll provide the GitHub location, and so there for authorization on all, we have the plugin called role-based authorization strategy, where we can define the SS for the users. Again, to work with the JDBC, to work with the database, we can connect with the JDBC. So where like connection equal to driver manager dot connection, where we provide the database URL, username, and password. For reporting, we will be using extent report, and to capture the logs, we'll be using log4j, and we are using test ng as a unit framework. Like it will have the many advantages. It will have test annotation. We can do parameterization or parallel execution through the test ng. We are using Apache POI to access the test data from the Excel sheet. So we are keeping the test data into Excel sheet. So Apache POI will have some inbuilt method. Let's say XSF workbook, XSF sheet, XSF row, XSF cell, and using get cell value will access the data from that one, and we'll also use a data provider at the data provider from test ng to access the data from the our Excel sheet. Then we will be hooks are generally the pre and post conditions. So there are two annotation present before and after. So before writing before executing the test script, we can have the piece of code in before, and the post condition will be in after. So this is all about the BDD framework. So I have created one template, and I try to explain with this so that it will helpful to our subscriber as well.
Yes, Amit, what you told is perfectly fine. It will helpful for subscribers. But in real time interview, you can like from these points, you can add main points to the
Yeah.
like to when you're going for interview, because
Yes.
don't have patience to listen all these things.
Correct.
So you
Correct.
can demonstrate only the few topics like feature file. What do you mean by feature file, step
Yes.
definition, test runner, then is fine. If they ask more in detail means you can elaborate all these things. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, that will be good approach. What you told is perfectly fine. And one more thing, in test runner we will use monochrome. Why we use monochrome?
So monochrome will be using for like I think for browser, some related to some browser. Is it something related to browser?
No, monochrome is used after the glue. You'll be using
Yeah.
monochrome and dry
Okay.
run. Dry run,
Okay.
you know, right?
Yeah. Dry run generally will be doing feature file to create the pseudo code that will be aligned
Correct.
to the whatever the test scenario present in the feature file.
Yes, yes. Monochrome in the sense like to get the readable format in the console. So like what is the issue or logs or the defect, the error, what will you getting? So to get in the readable format in the console, we use monochrome. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. You can check it with practical monochrome if is equal to true or false. So it
Okay.
takes a boolean value monochrome is equal to true. You can see the console how the like logs or step definitions for coming in the console. It will be readable format. Everyone can understand. If you make it false, like it
Okay.
should be like a snippet of it, that one.
Okay. Fine, Tejas. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Then we can go ahead.
Okay.
So you told like BDD. That you used any test engine framework?
Yeah, we have used test ng framework in our.
Okay, fine. Then why we use testng.xml file?
So testng file is like generally we'll be using to do universal change, universal. If you want to do something mm, that will implement in whole uh, framework, so we can do it through testng.xml file. Like say we can do parallel execution, or we can provide parameter, or we can do group wise if you can exclude or include test cases. So those feature we can implement through test ng xml.
Yes, yes, fine, good. Okay. Um, okay. What is background and hooks keyword in BDD Cucumber?
So background is something which we'll be using again and again in our framework. Let's say we have a test scripts where we need to do login every time, and again we have to perform some action. So we can keep those piece of code or that scenario in background. So every time we don't have to, we just have to call the background. So let's say like we have created uh, uh, background for a login scenario. So the code piece of code which will be used again and again in our framework, we keep it in background. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, correct. What do you mean by hooks?
So hooks are generally you have two test annotation like before and after. So before is a precondition; it runs before the test script, and after is the post condition. So it runs after the test script. So let's say some before condition also, like we can keep the login part in before also, or like if we have to quit the or close the browser, we can keep it in after. So those things we can do pre and post condition we are using it.
Correct. Okay. Um, can we execute like in order wise in BDD Cucumber? For example, in test engine will be using priority, right? Like
Yes,
if you give priority, that test case will be executed. Can we
yes,
do in
yes.
BDD Cucumber?
Yeah, also we can do in BDD Cucumber. So like we were having priority in test ng, here we are having order. So let's say like if we are providing order one, then order two, so it will execute in that way. Like if the order one
Yeah,
is, it
correct.
will be executed first, then order two, it will like, execute the next.
Yes, fine, good. In test engine coming into the execution, if we not give the priority, then how it will be executed in test engine?
So if priority is not given, okay, so we can have multiple scenarios. So either it will go alphabetical order, else like if any dependent methods are there, so those dependents method will be executed.
Yes, fine,
Yeah.
good. Okay, then we'll move on to whether you have means you'll be writing code in local, right? So which version control you're using to push your code?
So we are using GitHub to
GitHub.
GitHub on daily basis, whatever the code we are will be writing. So it is like
Yeah.
a repository where we check in or check out our code on the daily basis. Whatever the code we are writing, we'll check out to the GitHub. Shall I stop
Okay.
sharing screen?
Yes, yes, you can stop the sharing the screen.
Okay. Okay.
Can you tell me the process of you pushing code into the Bitbucket?
Bitbucket I'm not using actually. I'm using GitHub like
Oh, you're sorry, you're not used
okay,
Bitbucket, right? So
okay,
you're
okay.
used to which one you're told? GitHub.
GitHub, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like comments will be same. Can you tell me the
yeah,
comments
yeah,
of
yeah, I know.
you push your code?
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, uh, in GitHub, I will create a branch, okay, master branch, and uh, master branch and sister branch that we call it module branch. Okay. So if you want to suppose any framework is there already, or if you want to pull that code in our local system, so we can use clone method, git clone. So it will download the particular code into our local Eclipse. Again, we have git status, so it will show the status of like the git status will show like what are the status of that code. Uh, then we have git add. So git add will navigate to the particular path where like we need to add, and we can use git add to add that one. And again, yeah, there will be like we have to uh, commit our code once we have written our code. So we'll be using git commit. There like staging will come. So from there we'll uh, like commit to the yeah, our GitHub. Is there anything I'm missing? You can
Yeah,
add on
correct.
that.
Git commit, it's fine. Then afterwards, Git.
Then suppose we'll just commit the code to the GitHub. So there uh, our team lead, he will be reviewing our code whether our code are correct or not. So if there is something need to
Git
be added,
commit is there. 1 minute, Amit. Git
okay.
commit, you are committed in the local only, but you need to push, right? You have to use the push command to local branch or the master branch.
Yes. Push will do push.
Yeah,
I will do push command, git push to, and we'll mention the particular path where like we need to push our code.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Okay, fine. Then PR will be raised, right?
yeah. Here will be raised, and if there is anything change, so we'll be do change in that. Means our team lead or like he will do review the code, and if there is something needed to be changed, he will raise the PR. So it will again back assign to us, and we'll do that particular change. He may put some comment also. Again, after doing changes, we'll push it back to the our module, sister module, and again we'll do merge into the master branch.
Okay. Means how you resolve conflicts in Git if any conflicts is there? How you resolve it?
So let's say the two as two automation testers, they are working on the same piece of code. They have done
Yes.
some changes in the same piece of code, then we'll get the situation of conflict.
Yeah.
So when the conflict will come, okay, so we need to check that which code is best. Is whatever the changes, which code we need to accept, we need to forward, and which code we need to reject. So we can just uh, we can meet with the developer. We can do one meeting, and like we will conclude like this code is we need to uh, push into the our GitHub. So we'll be using merge command, git merge, to whatever the piece of code we want to merge into the our uh, GitHub. So we'll be using git merge command.
Yeah, it's fine, but sometimes it requires both codes need to be pushed, like both are important.
Okay.
Then how you handle?
So both are important. Then we should like we should push both the code, but we should be in a position where like it is not impacting our test other test scripts, or like because of that we are not getting some flaky test cases, or our test scripts are not failing. So we need to consider that one. So generally we can discuss with the lead, and like or the SDate automation tester who are involved in this. Uh, we can conduct one meeting, and we can come at a conclusion like which code need to be done, or like what changes we need to do. Then if it is necessary to push both the code into the GitHub, we can do that one.
Yeah, then is fine because you can conflicts will be there, marker will be there, greater than,
Yes,
lesser than
yes,
symbol will be
yes,
there, right?
yes,
So you
yes,
can
yes,
remove that one and you can make staging like what you can
yes,
git add
yes,
and
yes,
git merge. You can do it if both are
yes.
required. Means you can remove those greater than, lesser than symbols and you can push it. It will be resolved.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, fine. Then that is fine. Okay, whether you used Jenkins
Yeah,
CID pipeline.
yeah.
Whether which one is Jenkins used?
So we have used Jenkin, as a CI/CD tool to trigger our test suite. So there,
Mm-hmm.
like we need to do configurations related to our framework so that it will run our test scripts from the framework.
Okay, fine. Means whether you configured from Bitbus or from GitHub to Jenkins, whether you configured or like your team lead will be configured or whether you configured.
Yeah, I have involved in configuring the Jenkins. So
Mm-hmm.
in Jenkins we need to create the Jenkins freestyle or through pipeline. So if we are doing it through pipeline, like we'll be using the um, declarative. We have two types of uh, like code we can write with the Groovy language, where like we can use the scripty or declarative. So mostly we are going with the declarative. So there in
Okay.
pipeline, we'll by using the Groovy language, we pass the scripts. Okay, so, and also we need to do the plugin configuration. Let's say if you are using Jenkins, then we need to, if you are using Cucumber, then we should have the Cucumber plugin. Also, we need to add a reporting plugin, test ng plugin. We need to provide the JDK path and all. Also, we need to provide the our GitHub location, pom.xml file location, and also we have to handle the authorization as well. For that, like we can add a plugin called role based authorization strategy. So like developer, they will have different ss, and QA as did they will have different ss. So like uh, developer they cannot touch our framework, or else like QA we cannot when we log in, we will just see our framework. We don't have access for their code. So those things we'll do in Jenkins.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Means whether you periodically set up the jobs pipeline, whether you got chance for pipeline scheduling.
Yeah, I have been involved in writing the declarative test scripts using Groovy language.
No. In that is fine pipeline execution. For example, you can make it as to run in the late night evening dry run
Yeah, yeah.
you
So
can make
that
it.
yeah. So for that, like we will create one item. So where we will configure the our test run time, like when we need to trigger our test suite. Again, also we need to configure the email part, where like that email part will be using the built-ins method. So let's say built-ins method, like we'll be receiving the mail, so it will show the time of execution, and using the reporting, like if you are using extend report, so like it will create a like a beautiful HTML report, like this much percentage of test cases are getting passed, this much percentage of cases are getting failed. So those things will be there.
Yeah, that is called a corn pattern. In one word, you can say it's a
Yes.
corn pattern.
Okay, fine. One pattern. Okay.
Okay, fine. I mean, then if, I will come to the some situation-based questions.
Okay.
Like whether you faced any challenges while developing the framework.
Yeah. So in the beginning, like our project was like we were the banking project. So earlier when we started the our developing the framework, there was challenges like in future our test when our test suite will grow, or if any new implementation, as we are following agile, any new tools and technology came, so our framework should be such a way that in future also it is able to handle any new changes uh, if occurred, or it should be compatible with any new tools or AI tools. So uh, we have uh, worked on that one. We have designed in such a way like it should able to adjust the changing technologies as well.
For example, take one scenario.
Okay.
Like yesterday you run your scripts, so it was
Okay.
working fine.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow morning the same scripts you are running, but it's failing.
Okay.
What's the reason? How you handle this in this situation?
Sometime like when we receive a new build, okay, so we'll see like our tests are getting failed. So there, so what we'll do first, we'll we will manually will try to reproduce the issue. Like if it is issue is reproducible, then we'll definitely will tell the manual team to log bug for that. Else, what we'll be doing, will be checking like it might be there are some new feature are implemented or some changes are made. So because of that, some our HTML file, the DOM file has changed. So our locators are getting failed. Also, if our application is slow, so because of the synchronization us like our test cases are getting failed, so there is no synchronization and slowness in the application, so our wait are not working. Let's say we have given for 20 seconds but our application is taking 30 seconds or 40 seconds, then our test cases are getting failed. Also there are few test cases which are very uncertain, like sometimes they'll pass, sometimes it's fail, so we call it flaky test cases. So we'll segregate those test cases from the regular test cases and we'll try to refactor it and we'll run as many times as once it become the stable. So this all will do, like we'll do the framework maintenance and all by doing this.
Okay, fine, good. Yeah, that way you can handle. Okay. Means any challenges you faced while scripting? Any
Yeah,
challenges while
challenges
scripting means
like scripting also Selenium. For Selenium also, like we can't automate a captcha, or we cannot handle the image comparison, or we cannot automate the window based application. For those scenarios, like again we have to come with, either we have to do it manually, execute those test cases, so those things we cannot do through our framework. So whatever the
Mhm.
limitation are with the Selenium, so we also like we are using Selenium, so these all are the challenges, like for those test cases we have to do it manually.
Yeah, we can automate, but third-party integration should be there, and it takes a long process. Actually, nowadays we can automate like a captcha also, but it's a lengthy process. By integration of third-party, we can achieve it, but by Selenium alone we can't do it. Yeah, that
Okay.
is fine. Yeah, like which is your favorite like locator, which you will be using maximum while scripting?
Mostly I'll be using ID.
If ID is
ID,
not there,
ID is not there, then I'll go for XPath.
XPath also sometimes you can't use index. What you will do then?
Then we'll have some means XPath function like contains or preceding, following, siblings. So those we'll be using.
Correct. Yeah, that is dynamic XPath.
Yeah, dynamic XPath.
Yeah, you can go for the relative locators also. Now you can use for relative locators nowadays. Relative locators are in move,
Okay.
so you can use
Yeah.
that one and you can automate your scripts.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Amit. Nice talking with you. Yeah.
Okay. So uh, so how is like Tejas, how you are feeling like with this our interview, mock interviews will definitely help our subscribers and those people who are preparing for interview.
Yes, yes. Surely they will get in a clear picture. And these are real-time intro questions only. Almost they can cover get these questions in their real-time interview.
Okay. So thank you so much, Tejas, for giving me time from your busy schedule. And guys, those who want to take interview, mock interview from Tejas, I'll mention his uh, TopMed ID and his email ID also. You can send resume to Tejas and you can schedule your interview with him. So definitely, he has like vast experience of taking interview both as organization level as a freelancer. So he can help you in that. Tejas, anything you want to add?
Yeah, nothing like who are interested, I can send resumes to my ID. So in my free time, I can schedule intro for them and I can take.
Sure. So Tejas, we'll conclude. Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
giving us time.
yeah.
And
Thank
guys,
you.
please do
Yeah, yeah.
subscribe to get such more videos. And we are putting a lot of effort here. So your comment, your subscribe, your like, definitely it will give us a boost and we'll come up with a more videos like that. So guys, thank you so much for watching till now, and we'll conclude this interview here. Thank you, Tejas, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.